Okay, Mondo, tell us about Iran's mothership that's spitting out drones all over the United States, from
In
California
Jersey.
to New Jersey.
Yep.
Tell us about this mothership. Are you familiar with this?
Well, I'll tell you. Here's the thing: is that I saw the senator from New Jersey talk about this, and in follow up, it wasn't so much like a mothership in the sky; it was a cargo ship, right? So when he's talking about a mothership, he's talking about certainly Iran is used to transporting lots of oil, so. The fascinating thing about it is, they got all these drones, which of course Iran is one of the largest manufacturers of drones in the world. In fact, they sell them to Russia. So you think about Russia being a superpower, and they sell their drones to Russia. And in fact, there was an agreement about 6 months ago that Iran was going to build a drone manufacturing plant in Russia to help provide them local, manufactured drones for not only the war in Ukraine, but for the Russian army. So,
wow,
this is not surprising. The more surprising thing about it is the quietness and the silence from official people in the government. Again, even outside of Congress. I mean, this is not surprising in the sense of if we talk about what happened even 6 months ago or longer with the Chinese balloon, that
right.
what did the Biden administration do? They let them fly over all of our military places from the West Coast all the way to the East, and you're like, so all these drones that are flying with impunity, it's like, who is allowing this, and why aren't they shooting them down? But the reason they're not, it just gets into some good conspiracy.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
We're here
Agreed.
for the good. This is the hang sesh with the boys.
Yep. This is the good stuff. Yep.
The boys don't just sit around and talk fact. We talk shop and we come up with theories. So yeah, it's super weird. Dennis, is that you?
It's done. It's done. I'm done. I'm good.
Dennis was trying to see how his hair looks.
No, I'm trying to get on the chat thing. I can't do it on the computer. It's so weird. So I have to get on my phone.
You'll figure it out.
I'm trying to. Sorry, guys.
So it's weird that not only did they let these balloons fly from China all over the U.S., right? And they didn't take them down, but there's no way. Are you saying that it's a cargo ship, like
yes.
by sea?
Correct.
They are docked and then shooting off these drones.
Correct.
They're the size. They said. Then you said that they're the size of cars, like SUVs.
Yeah,
so they're massive.
Massive. Not all of them, but some of them for sure. Yes.
And they didn't notice that this was going on until after the fact.
Well, that's the story. Is the channels, the official channels, are saying why isn't why aren't we hearing about this? And this is why I think about it. A senator and others, local sheriffs and others who are seeing this, they're coming out and asking, where's the government at here? I mean, this is a senator of the United States asking, where's the Biden administration? Where's the NSA? Where's all the things? And he's getting crickets. So deliberate silence. So there's something sinister at play. And again, we're in this window. So talk about conspiracy. We're in this window between the election and Inauguration Day.
Right,
so
right.
I would not be surprised with any of this stuff. As it relates to sabotage or trying to create some sort of episode.
Oh, here locally, like domestically?
Mm-hmm. Domestically, yep.
Okay. And do you think? Again, let's put our conspiracy tinfoil hats on right now. So you think they would let them do something, or do you think that they would like false flag something where, hey, there's a pattern. They've been in our airspace. Oh, what a coinkerdinker. Something went down. You know what I mean?
I don't believe there's any option that we can come up with that's off the table for the deep state elites trying to sabotage what's happening. It's fascinating. I'll just throw this out there now, where you have people. We know over the last 8 years, for example, Trump's been just hammered for 8 years, right? Lawfare,
right.
Congress, everything else, all these made up charges, and now all of a sudden people are saying, oh, Trump's part of the elite. He's part of the global cabal. He's the chosen one for the New World Order. You're like, have you been watching for 8 years? All of a sudden, now he's their guy?
Yeah.
Was that all just make-believe? And, to me, Jesus said a house divided against itself will not stand. So now all of a sudden, they're behind Trump, and he has their undivided support. This is just the stupidity of some of the thinking, unfortunately.
The only thing that makes me like raise an eyebrow to Trump is, and listen, I'm all for him, right? Voted for him twice.
Well, I'm not all for him. So I'm not all for him, but
when I say all for him,
okay, hang on. I just want to say thank you, Dad, because that was that. I'm so happy you said that because I'm not all for him either. Ben knows. I'm on the fence with a lot of this stuff.
I guess I got to choose my words way more carefully.
Yes, you do.
When I said I'm all for him, I meant in comparison to the other option, I'm all for him. Okay, that's what I meant. No
comparison. Yeah, no comparison.
But the issue that I've had for the past maybe 4 years now, right, is the only thing we have that is still to this day, outside of his Supreme Court nominations, the only thing that still impacts our lives to this day, like practically, was the warp speed. The ability for Big Pharma not to get sued. That was like that's literally the only thing that the Biden administration wasn't able to just undo, that and the Supreme Court justices. So I was like, because I was thinking about it like a year ago. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Nothing he did affects my life to this day other than warp speed, But anyway, that's an interesting thing. So we know that, or at least we're being told, Iran is flying big drones from a cargo ship that for some reason we're allowing to happen. So what they're seeing in New Jersey and stuff is supposedly drones from Iraq. But we do know that there's a lot of other stuff going on in the skies as well, outside of just drones from Iraq and balloons from China, right? I've been seeing a ton of videos lately, like actually this week into last week, of just a bunch of metallic orbs appearing all over the place, all over the world, really. Even, I believe the last one was I think it was in Illinois at an airport, somewhere in the Midwest at an airport, and it just dropped and stood on the tarmac. I believe they just recorded it when it came right over the tarmac, and it just hovered there for a while. Pilots were asking questions, like calling in, like, what is this thing? Maybe we can insert that in on the back end so people see what we're talking about. But what do you think these orbs are that keep appearing all over the place? Is it the same thing? Do you think it's drones or is it something else?
I don't necessarily think they're drones, because when you look at these particular drones, it's interesting how they are not hiding themselves. You got a red light on the right wing, and you got a white light on the other wing, and it's very clear, that even some of the images that these are drones. They're not orbs in that sense, but the mysterious nature of orbs, that's a whole nother topic, because as we know, people see those forever. They've been going around for a long time, so it's hard to define what those are. But the fascinating thing going on that is, you got the drones, you got the orbs, and then you have what you were describing, like these metallic objects, where there was just recently, just 2 days ago, out in Oregon, where I grew up, they had on KGW, the local station there. I still remember it from a kid. But same thing, you have these pilots now, and they played on the news the pilot saying, "Hey, whatever the tower, we're seeing this object. It's going over here to my left, and it's going way fast, and and then it went down, and now it's up, and we saw somebody else." And so they're saying all these things, and then they go, "We don't know what it is. Do I need to worry about it?" And the tower said, "No, just use your own evasive maneuvers. Whatever you need to do, just evade it." Well, then some guy gets on there and goes, "Well, these are Starlink satellites," and I'm like, "Look, I know about Starlink satellites because I see them in my images. Okay, right. Starlink satellites go in one direction very, very slowly. They don't retrograde back and forth. They don't change like this." And so this guy getting on there saying that was some local professor. I'm like, how stupid do you think we are? I mean, really, how foolish. We don't believe that for a second. But you have professional pilots. It was an insult to them.
Totally.
Because here they are. They know what they're saying. They're like, no, this thing is not moving. Going all the way back to Congress. They had a hearing last, a couple of weeks ago. So, that we could talk about that too. But nevertheless, all these things that are happening, and I just like you, all of a sudden, it seems to be an increase in the observation.
Oh yeah. In particular, like this week, like I said, I've been seeing a bunch of the orb photos and videos from all over the world, right? But you're right that there has been other metallic craft that have been spotted like constantly all over the planet. Do you think that the orbs? We asked this of L.A. Marzulli like a year and a half ago when he was on here. Do you think? And he got, he avoided it. Do you think that the orbs and the other metallic craft are the same thing, or do you think those are two separate things?
I think they're two separate things. The reason being is because when you have the craft, it's being recognized and grabbed by radar, by flights, by even by our military aircraft. So you can clearly, these are physical objects, where the orbs aren't necessarily, they can see them, but they're not coming up on the physical radar. Now maybe the orb has some sort of cloaking mechanism that it also can avoid the radar. But at the end of the day, when people talk about orbs, what I have come to understand is nobody knows.
Oh, really?
Exactly what they are. The other ones, like the Tic Tacs and these others, that the pilots, they're like, oh, clearly we're watching it, and now the new word is the USO, unidentified submersible anomalies or objects that go right into the water with no splash. And so, but those are the things, again, they're catching on their physical radar, not only by the jet itself, but also maybe by ships or other military fleets. They're able to see them, and in fact, many times they'll see them and go, hey, we want you to go check this out. And so then the plane will fly over there and go check it out because they saw it at the hub of the main aircraft carrier. So I would see those as a distinction.
Okay. What about the orbs of light? Have you seen those? The floating orbs of light, like I said earlier while we were talking before about Chris Bledsoe, how he's able to summon these orbs of light. What category would you put that in? Because so far we've got Iranian drones, okay? We've got orbs, metallic orbs. We have the other crafts that could be any shape, any size, move any direction, all that kind of stuff. And we've also got those orbs of light. Those are the ones that also seem to be able to appear, disappear, move in any direction constantly, defy laws of physics, all of that. Do you think those are a separate category?
I would, because to me, I have no problem, unapologetic, in ascribing something like that to the supernatural, at all.
Oh, the light orbs?
Yeah, whether it's demonic or something like that, I got no problem with that. And especially for the ability of them to disappear. But at the end of the day, they don't need to be demonic necessarily, because I'll give you an example. I think I've been talking about this lately and writing an article about it for our magazine. Let me just give you this example. We know in Genesis 18 that two angels show up and they eat. Right? They sit down with Abraham and they eat food. The next day, or they go down to Sodom and Gomorrah in chapter 19. Well, the question always is, are angels physical? Well, they're eating food, and we know if we do a parallel, one of the proofs that Jesus gave in Luke 24 when he appeared after his resurrection to the disciples, they thought he was a spirit. He said, look, give me some food. Do you have any food? He goes, give me some food. For a spirit doesn't have flesh and bone, which, again, he associated with eating physical food. So if you take that into consideration, angels, as we understand, are physical, but yet we know that they can cloak themselves, no problem. We see that in 2 Kings chapter 6, where Elisha's there, and his servant is worried. Oh my gosh! Well, look at the army, the Aramaic army, and he said, "Lord, open up his eyes to see." And boom, his eyes become uncloaked. He sees all the chariots and the angelic hosts that are there in order to defend him. So Elisha's not worried. But then, it goes back. So they were there the whole time, but they were able to cloak themselves. So that, to me, I have no problem, even biblically, that they could be physical but still have the ability to cloak themselves where we can't see.